Hi, this is Ronald Malfi, and I'm here to celebrate horror for Sadie Hartman and her birthday. So happy birthday, Sadie. And I'm going to read an excerpt from my forthcoming novel, Come With Me, due out in July from Titan Books. In 2016, in the early part of August, the body of a teenage girl who had been missing for the better part of 2 weeks eventually turned up along the shore of the Potomac River in southern Maryland, directly beneath the expanse of the Harry W. Nice Memorial Bridge. Her body had swelled and purpled, and some of her clothes had been sloughed away in the river's current. When she was found, her blonde hair was already green with algae. Her fingertips and some of her toes were missing, having been scavenged by crabs, and she was ultimately identified by her dental records as the missing girl, Gabrielle Colson Howe, 16 years old, from nearby Port Tobacco. The tiny Maryland village of Port Tobacco was home to just a mere half-dozen families, so the disappearance and subsequent death of the girl hit everyone who lived there very hard. The body was most likely carried by the river's current for several miles, the pale and naked arms ghosting through underwater fronds, a sneaker coming loose and gradually climbing toward the surface where it bobbed and rocked, unnoticed by anyone, like a tiny seagoing vessel. The glint of a gold ankle bracelet may have attracted the attention of curious fish. The girl's body thumped against the occasional underwater rock formation, maneuvered through tangles of submerged tree limbs, wove between the taut lines of crab pots, like an actor weaving between cables backstage in a theater. Two wanton boys lurking about the embankment shooting at gulls with a BB gun discovered Colson Howe's body beneath the bridge, where garbage tended to collect and where the discarded camps of homeless people, moldy nylon tents and damp sleeping bags, stood like tiny evacuated villages. The boys had vanished beneath the bridge to smoke cigarettes that they had purloined from a nearby construction barge, grateful to have a respite from the blazing summer sun. And that was when they saw it. The pale nakedness of it seemed to radiate with a dull internal light beneath the dark shadow of the bridge. They did not know what it was at first. Surely they did not suspect it was the corpse of a teenage girl. They approached it, their sneakers squelching in the muck and their cigarettes dangling from their lips as they advanced toward the pale white shape. The nearer they drew, the more the thing began to take on the likeness of a human being, face down, motionless. Maybe a homeless person who'd gotten drunk and drowned in the river. It had happened before. But the twinkle of that ankle bracelet seemed wrong, not a homeless person. Both boys stopped advancing when they realized it was a dead girl. Her shirt, wet and streaked with mud, torn in places to expose marbled flesh, was partially twisted about her throat, and the river had stripped her black tights down so that they trailed like a comet's streak from one sneaker that remained on her foot. The other foot, the one with the ankle bracelet, was bare. The toes had been nibbled down to the knuckle bones. The boys, ages 11 and 12, friends since they were in training pants, stood there beneath the bridge while vehicles thundered overhead and the stink of diesel exhaust clouded around them like a funk. They studied the girl while they finished their cigarettes. The corpse's bare buttocks were bruised gray and networked with blue-black veins. Large bottlenose flies crawled over the exposed flesh, and a cloud of them clotted in the air above the corpse's head like a halo. One of the boys, the more brazen of the two, grabbed a stick and poked at the mottled, graying flesh along the body's left flank, where the ribs stood out, clearly defined. The flesh yielded like dough. The boy pushed the tip of the stick more firmly against the body until it left behind a dime-sized puncture wound that did not so much as bleed as drool out a thread of gray river water. The boys smoked another cigarette each while contemplating whether to plant a BB in one of the exposed buttocks of the corpse. But in the end, they decided against it, and when they'd finished their smokes, they headed home to tell their parents what they had found. And that is my birthday gift to you, Sadie, and I appreciate you inviting me to take part in this. And that is an excerpt from my forthcoming novel, Come With Me, from Titan Books, due out July 20th. So if you're looking to take a book to the beach, that's the one. Happy birthday, Sadie. Thanks so much.